This particular topic has been a subject of discussion and consideration for a significant period of time, and Russia, for quite a while now, has consistently put forward its services as a potential and viable option, one that could ultimately lead to the successful elimination of specific points of contention or the removal of certain irritants for a number of different countries. At this present moment, Russia is steadfastly continuing its diplomatic efforts and is actively engaged in maintaining communications with all relevant stakeholders, and to the utmost extent of its capabilities, it consistently upholds its unwavering commitment to proactively contribute to the de-escalation of the prevailing tensions surrounding the situation in Iran.
In the fragile world of nuclear diplomacy, a familiar power is stepping forward, once again, as a would-be mediator. The Kremlin says Russia is ready to help remove Iran's enriched uranium, reviving a proposal that Moscow claims has been on the table for years. According to the Kremlin, discussions about Russia potentially taking custody of Iranian enriched uranium are not new. Instead, Moscow says it has long offered itself as a broker, positioning the move as a way to ease tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear program. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirmed that Russia has repeatedly raised the option with multiple parties, saying it could help remove certain irritants for countries concerned about Iran's nuclear activities. Russia, he said, is maintaining contacts with all sides and remains ready to assist in de-escalating the standoff. But Tehran is pushing back. A senior Iranian official has flatly denied that Iran plans to transfer any enriched nuclear material abroad. Ali Bahari, deputy for foreign policy at Iran's Supreme National Security Council Secretariat, said negotiations are not focused on moving uranium out of the country and that no such plan exists. Iranian officials have no plan to transfer enriched nuclear materials to any country, he said, dismissing reports suggesting otherwise. His comments come amid conflicting signals. Earlier reporting suggested that diplomacy was ongoing and that Iran may be willing to show flexibility on enrichment, including the possible handover of hundreds of kilograms of highly enriched uranium under specific arrangements. Iran now insists that such options are not part of the talks. Meanwhile, Moscow says its role is not about pressure, but prevention. The Kremlin insists it is still working to de-escalate tensions around Iran, repeating that it has long offered to store or process enriched uranium as a confidence-building measure. At stake is more than diplomacy. Iran's nuclear program remains one of the most sensitive flashpoints in global security, watched closely by the United States, Israel, Europe, and the wider Middle East. Whether Russia's offer becomes a breakthrough or just another stalled proposal remains uncertain. What is clear is this: the question of Iran's enriched uranium is back at the center of global diplomacy, and the margins for miscalculation are shrinking.
Our government officials and political experts are dedicating a considerable amount of their attention to the situation concerning Iran. And one can only sincerely hope that the United States will not resort to such drastic actions as a full-scale invasion of Iran or the launching of any kind of extensive bombing and missile strikes, because such a course of action would undoubtedly lead directly to a third world war. It's one thing when they kidnapped the president of Venezuela. Yes, that was a relatively minor operation, but this is a massive 80 million strong nation, incredibly well armed and fully equipped. If there are repercussions, then many surrounding countries could also suffer. The same Israel and the countries of the Arab world, they are also categorically opposed to any military operation in Iran. Moreover, Iran, if necessary, has already threatened to block the Strait of Hormuz, which would effectively halt all oil trade. This is such a massive problem for the entire world, if not to say that it could simply become completely insurmountable. Therefore, here, step-by-step conflicts could begin, which would inevitably lead to a nuclear catastrophe. I am not at all sure that Solely with missile strikes and bombings, it is possible to resolve the Iranian problem for the Americans. A ground operation is necessary in any scenario, but will the Americans be able to conduct a ground operation in Iran? I don't think that this will be some kind of easy walk. Iranians are a courageous people with a tremendous history, who know how to defend themselves and to protect their homelands. And I think that just yesterday, information emerged that American and Iranian working groups have reportedly started making contact. And I truly hope they won't let the situation escalate into a war.
Iran. Pause. While I was just explaining in the context of what I mentioned earlier in diplomatic processes require integrity and seriousness, never accepting anything less. Or perhaps there was no specific deadline ever established. Therefore, such a claim cannot possibly be confirmed.
A single word from Tehran has thrown Washington's pressure campaign into doubt. Iran says it never received the ultimatum Donald Trump claims he issued, even as U.S. warships surge into the Middle East. Diplomacy is being denied, military signals are multiplying, and the clock is suddenly louder than the rhetoric. Iran has flatly rejected Donald Trump's claim that the United States issued a deadline for nuclear negotiations. Speaking in Tehran, Iran's foreign ministry said no ultimatum was received and none would be accepted. The language was measured, but the message was unmistakable. Iran will not negotiate under threat. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baghai said Iran engages diplomatically with honesty and seriousness, but never under coercion. He added that such statements from Washington cannot be confirmed. In diplomatic language, that is a direct rejection. At the same time, Tehran escalated on another front. Iranian authorities summoned all European Union ambassadors to protest the bloc's move to label the Revolutionary Guard a terrorist organization.
We are currently in the decision-making phase, and we sincerely hope that none of the media speculations circulating can be confirmed. As to where, in what specific form, or with the involvement of which parties, because at this very stage we are still in the process of making decisions. Iran. Pause. While I was just explaining in the context of what I mentioned earlier in diplomatic processes require integrity and seriousness, never accepting anything less. Or perhaps there was no specific deadline ever established. Therefore, such a claim cannot possibly be confirmed.
No changes to the planned military exercises.
No incident has occurred involving the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The naval exercise of the Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran with China and Russia is an annual exercise which I believe has been held 6 or 7 times so far in the northern Indian Ocean, and it will be conducted as scheduled. Throughout yesterday and today, all European countries, specifically the member states of the European Union that maintain their embassies in Tehran, have been summoned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The strong protest of the Islamic Republic of Iran has been formally conveyed in writing to their representatives. But as I mentioned, this is merely a minimal measure.
Trump, however, tells a different story. The U.S. president says he warned Iran to come to the table or face military consequences. He has not detailed the deadline nor explained how it was delivered. Tehran says no letter, no call, no formal message ever arrived. The United States has moved the USS Abraham Lincoln Strike Group into the Middle East, along with several guided missile destroyers. These are not symbolic deployments. They are forward-positioned assets designed for rapid action. Still, the White House has stopped short of confirming whether force will be used. Officials say all options remain on the table. Regional powers, meanwhile, are scrambling diplomatically, trying to prevent a confrontation that could engulf the wider Middle East.